Hello, and a warm welcome back. It's always a comfort to connect with you here, sharing reflections drawn from the deep well of lived experience. Today, we explore a quality that often develops quietly over many years. A kind of inner grace that allows us to navigate life's inevitable challenges with greater peace. The quality of acceptance. Now, the word acceptance can sometimes be misunderstood. It might bring to mind images of passive resignation, giving up, or simply rolling over in the face of difficulty. But the acceptance we're talking about today, the kind that often blossoms with age and wisdom, is far from passive. It's an active, courageous, and profoundly wise engagement with reality. It's the conscious choice to acknowledge and make peace with what is, rather than constantly fighting against immutable realities or dwelling perpetually in how things should be or used to be. It's the key that unlocks the door from chronic frustration and resistance to a state of greater calm and equanimity. Think about how much energy we expend throughout life, resisting things we ultimately cannot change. We fight against aging, argue with past decisions, lament circumstances beyond our control, or become deeply frustrated when people or situations don't meet our ideals. This resistance, while understandable, is often the root source of much of our inner turmoil. Acceptance, in contrast, doesn't necessarily mean liking the situation. But it means recognizing its reality and choosing to work with it, rather than being consumed by the futile battle against it. Let's explore some key areas where cultivating this wise acceptance can profoundly enhance our well-being. Starting with perhaps the most personal and undeniable reality of aging. Area 1. Accepting the reality of physical changes. As we journey through our later decades, our bodies inevitably change. This is a fundamental truth. Perhaps energy levels aren't what they once were, joints might ache, eyesight or hearing may diminish. Recovery from exertion takes longer, and certain activities, once done with ease, now require more effort or modification. Resisting these changes, constantly comparing oneself to a younger version, feeling deep frustration or resentment about limitations, or pushing the body in ways that lead to injury or exhaustion, only breeds unhappiness and can even be counterproductive. Wise acceptance, in this context, isn't about giving up on health or vitality. We absolutely should continue proactive health habits, as we've discussed previously. Moving our bodies appropriately, eating well, seeking good medical care, but acceptance means acknowledging the current reality of our physical capabilities with honesty and kindness towards ourselves. It means letting go of the attachment to how things used to be and focusing instead on what is possible now. This might look like adjusting exercise routines to accommodate joint pain, perhaps shifting from high-impact activities to swimming or gentle yoga, allowing for more rest without self-criticism when fatigue sets in. Using assistive devices like canes, walkers, or hearing aids, not as symbols of decline, but as practical tools that enhance independence and participation in life. Focusing on gratitude for the abilities we do retain, rather than solely lamenting those that have diminished. Finding new activities or modifying old ones to match current energy and mobility levels. Acceptance here is about working intelligently and compassionately with the body we have today. It replaces the energy spent on frustration and denial with energy directed towards adaptation, self-care, and finding joy within current parameters. It fosters peace by aligning our expectations with reality. Beyond the physical, acceptance extends to aspects of our past and the world around us. Area 2. Accepting unchangeable realities of the past and others. Life inevitably presents us with situations and outcomes we didn't choose and cannot alter. Past events, personal mistakes, losses, disappointments, global happenings are fixed in time. Similarly, other people, their personalities, choices, beliefs, and behaviors are largely beyond our direct control, even those closest to us. A significant source of suffering arises from mentally refighting these past battles or endlessly trying to force others to conform to our wishes. Acceptance here involves the often difficult but liberating recognition that we cannot change what has already happened. Nor can we fundamentally remake other people. We can influence, we can communicate, we can set boundaries, but we cannot control these external realities. Holding on to resentment about the past, or persistent anger about others' choices primarily hurts us, keeping us stuck in negativity. Wise acceptance means making peace with past events, learning any relevant lessons, forgiving ourselves or others where appropriate, as discussed under letting go, and then consciously shifting our focus to the present and future, recognizing the autonomy of others, respecting their right to make their own choices, even if we disagree or disapprove, setting healthy boundaries based on our own needs and values, rather than trying to control the other person's behavior, focusing our energy on what we can influence, our own responses, attitudes, choices, and actions. This doesn't mean endorsing harmful behavior or pretending past hurts didn't happen. It means acknowledging the reality of these situations without letting them continuously drain our present energy or dictate our emotional state. It's choosing peace over perpetual internal conflict by releasing the struggle against the unchangeable. This ability to accept external realities often grows alongside a gentler view of imperfection, both in the world and within ourselves. Area 3. Accepting imperfection in self, others, and life itself. Introduction. Our culture often promotes ideals of perfection. The perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect family, the flawless performance. We can internalize these ideals and spend enormous energy striving for unattainable standards, leading to harsh self-criticism when we inevitably fall short, and judgmental attitudes towards others or deep disillusionment with life when things aren't perfect. This constant pursuit of an illusory perfection is exhausting and a barrier to peace. This constant pursuit of an illusory perfection is exhausting and a significant barrier to inner peace. The wisdom cultivated over many years often involves a profound and liberating acceptance of imperfection, recognizing that life, ourselves, and everyone in it is inherently flawed, messy, incomplete, and perfectly imperfect. Accepting imperfection in ourselves means letting go of harsh. It's acknowledging our mistakes, weaknesses, and vulnerabilities not as signs of failure, but simply as part of the universal human condition. It allows for self-compassion, the ability to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we might offer a dear friend who is struggling. When we stop demanding perfection from ourselves, we free up immense energy previously wasted on self-criticism and anxiety. Accepting imperfection in others fosters tolerance and deeper empathy. When we release the expectation that friends, family, or partners should be flawless, we become less prone to disappointment and judgment. We can appreciate their positive qualities while accepting their limitations, leading to more realistic and often more harmonious relationships. It allows us to meet people where they are, rather than where we think they should be. And accepting the inherent imperfection of life itself allows us to navigate its inevitable disappointments and frustrations with greater equanimity. Things won't always go according to plan. Injustices occur, difficulties arise without reason. Fighting against this messy reality only increases suffering. Acceptance allows us to find beauty and meaning within the imperfection, to appreciate moments of joy even amidst challenges, and to approach life with less rigid expectation and more flexible grace. This embrace of what is, flaws and all, is a direct pathway to a more peaceful and contented heart. This leads to a related area where acceptance offers freedom, letting go of comparing ourselves to others. Area 4. Accepting our own unique path, letting go of comparison. From a young age, we are often subtly or overtly encouraged to compare ourselves to others. Grades, athletic abilities, career success, material possessions, family life, even appearance. This habit of comparison can persist throughout life, often amplified by social media and cultural pressures. We look at others' seemingly perfect lives and feel inadequate, envious, or like we've somehow fallen short. This constant measuring against external benchmarks is a guaranteed recipe for dissatisfaction. One of the liberating insights that often deepens with age is the recognition of the utter uniqueness of each individual life journey. Everyone has their own distinct set of circumstances, challenges, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and losses. Comparing our inside reality with all its struggles to someone else's curated outside presentation is inherently unfair and misleading. What works for one person or brings them happiness may be entirely different for another. Wise acceptance involves letting go of this fruitless comparison game. It means focusing on our own path, our own values, our own progress, and our own sources of meaning and joy. It requires acknowledging and appreciating our unique life story, with all its twists and turns, successes and failures, as inherently valid. It's about defining success and contentment on our own terms, based on internal metrics rather than external comparisons. This shift brings immense freedom. It quiets the inner critic fueled by envy or feelings of inadequacy. It allows us to genuinely celebrate the successes of others without feeling diminished ourselves. It fosters contentment with our own life, just as it is, recognizing its unique worth. Accepting and honoring our own path is a powerful act of self-affirmation that cultivates deep inner peace. Finally, perhaps the ultimate act of acceptance involves our relationship with the present moment. Area 5. Accepting the present moment, whatever it holds. This weaves together many of the threads we've discussed. So much of our mental suffering comes from resisting the present reality. We mentally live in the past, regretting what was, or anxiously anticipate the future, fearing what might be. We resist unpleasant feelings, uncomfortable sensations, or unwelcome circumstances happening right now. This constant internal battle against the present moment is exhausting and prevents us from finding peace where life actually happens, which is always now. Acceptance, in this context, is the practice of meeting each moment as it arises, with openness and awareness, without immediate judgment or resistance. If the moment is pleasant, we fully savor it, knowing it's impermanent. If the moment is difficult, perhaps involving physical pain, sadness, boredom, or frustration, acceptance doesn't mean liking it or passively enduring it. If action is possible, it means first acknowledging its presence without adding a layer of mental resistance. I shouldn't be feeling this. This is terrible. I can't stand this. This mindful acceptance of the present, even when difficult, paradoxically often reduces suffering. The initial pain or discomfort might still be there, but the added layer of mental anguish caused by fighting reality dissolves. It creates space for clarity, allowing us to respond to the situation more wisely and effectively if action is needed, or to simply bear witness with compassion if the situation cannot be changed. It's about learning to be with our experience, rather than constantly warring against it. This practice, cultivated over time, leads to profound inner calm and resilience, allowing us to navigate life's inherent fluctuations with greater stability and peace. Conclusion: the strength found in acceptance. Embracing the grace of acceptance, accepting physical changes, unchangeable pasts and others, inherent imperfection, our unique life path, and the reality of the present moment, is not a sign of weakness. It is a profound strength, a form of wisdom often honed through decades of lived experience. It is the key to unlocking ourselves from the exhausting struggle against what is. By learning to meet reality with less resistance and more compassionate awareness, we free up enormous energy. Energy that can then be directed towards positive action where possible, towards gratitude for what is good, towards deeper connection, and towards cultivating a resilient and peaceful inner landscape. Acceptance allows us to live more fully, finding contentment not in spite of life's imperfections and challenges, but often right in the midst of them. Where in your life might cultivating a little more acceptance bring greater peace? What helps you practice acceptance when facing difficulties? Your insights are invaluable. Please share them in the comments below. If this reflection on the grace of acceptance resonated with you, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to Elderly Wisdom for more explorations of the inner journey. Sharing this message might offer comfort to someone struggling with resistance. Thank you for being here today, for engaging with these deep ideas. May you find strength and peace in the practice of wise acceptance. Until next time, be well.